Welcome to Control 2022. I'm here with Peter Keitler, CEO at EXTEND3D. Welcome at the booth. Which innovations are you having with you at the Control?
So the innovations that we show this year is a combination of the laser templating that we did over all the last years, which we combined with tool tracking to allow for the first time a 100% digital workflow for manufacturers and to support their assembly tasks in a way that they can not only show the workers what to do and where to perform certain operations on their work items and assemblies, where to position parts, but they can also feed back this information using a system which digitizes the movements and aligns the operations with the object in 3D. So we can actually record every operation that is being performed on the part and also feed back that information into the digital twin to allow for a 100% digital process chain, even in processes where not every task can be automated. So of course with our laser templating we have always been addressing the manual work operations, so we always show something to the human so that the human can perform a better job with the help of our systems, but now we can feed back this information into the digital model, the digital twin, and allow for a digital process.
Which target groups do you address?
The target groups that we address with such a system is the companies, the manufacturers that have assembly tasks and that want to automate and digitize their processes, but that have still complex manual operations, and that happens in all kind of industries. So that can happen in automotive, it can be in aerospace, in marine industry, transportation, wherever complex objects assemblies are being built. Such companies can benefit from such a system.
Which developments do you see in the market?
Well, what we see is that cost due to the pandemic and also to the war in Ukraine and all the associated effects that we have, the scarceness of supplies in some times or the other, that all our customers try to become more flexible and adapt their processes they are pushing the digitalization that was already a trend before, but we see that this is really made a big leap, and in all areas, in the body shop, in the press shop, in welding, everywhere they think about how they can make their system more flexible, more versatile, to cope with the flexibility, and which helps them also to cope with the problems that came due to the pandemic, like that maybe the fluctuation of personnel, and that they have a on and off production, they have shut down, and then 2 weeks later they have a free shift operation, and all this requires that they are flexible and can really react to this, to the problems and still produce what they're supposed to produce. And the trend, there is, of course, that was already before, a trend towards more variants in the market, that there is more and more derivatives of cars that you see on the streets, but that happens in all industries, that customers can customize their products more and more, and this causes such a big complexity in the product, what kind of combinations are allowed and how that can be assembled. That is really difficult to cope with that in a pure analog process. You need digital means to support that and to transport this information to the workers, what we do with the visualization, with the templating, but you also need the capabilities to feed back the operations that have been performed into the digital model, which is relevant information for subsequent processes.
How has your business developed over the last 2 years?
Well, marketing sales was was a bit difficult, but we benefited a lot from bigger projects, long-running projects that we had been working on already before the pandemic. And therefore, yeah, we were quite lucky to have these projects, and yeah, those brought us over the pandemic. And now we see that there is economy is catching up a lot, and I guess we can see it today on the control that there is a lot of people, and everybody is so happy to to meet in person again. And yeah, this will bring new creativity and cause new businesses to be established. Yeah.
What are the advantages of dynamic laser video projection in general compared to the standard solutions on the market?
So there is other laser templating solutions on the market that are more, let's say, suited for static operations, like showing something on a table to lay out things on different scenarios. But our systems are optimized for more dynamic operation, and this dynamic can mean that you can move the projection systems either to reach into different areas on a car body, for example, to reach into the wheelhouse and then afterwards into the engine compartment, which is not possible in a static scenario. And on the other hand, the flexibility can also mean that you can move the objects, what you would have on the assembly line, for example, that we can equip our systems in the line and project the relevant information while the parts are passing by, which is also a kind of dynamic and requires the dynamic referencing that we have, these capabilities of dynamic referencing that we equip our systems with, which make this possible to happen in the required accuracy and the required robustness.
Thank you very much, and a successful fair.
Thank you. For you the same. Thank you.